My child, I see that you've been living in silence. In that silence, I've been watching you. In the moments when you feel alone, when smiles don't seem to reach you and joy feels distant, I've seen everything. I've noticed things you couldn't. See now, the right time is coming to reveal the truth. I will uncover what was hidden behind seemingly kind actions and friendships that weren't sincere. Behind the appearance of loyalty, there were intentions working against you. These people were by your side, called you a friend, spoke as if they cared, but their hearts weren't truly with you. They spoke of peace, but their intentions carried poison. While you wished and hoped for their well-being, they planted doubt about you. But don't worry, the truth is about to come out, for a season, not to harm you, but to teach you how to listen to me more than the crowd. I am your defender, and this is your season of exposure. You wondered why things were delayed. You questioned why doors that looked open suddenly shut. You doubted yourself, asking, what am I missing? But it wasn't you, my child. It was what surrounded you. I could not take you higher while their hands were still holding on to your robe. I could not lift you where I was, leading if those around you were silently pulling you back. You thought it was a spiritual battle from afar, but it was much closer than you imagined, their words dressed in encouragement, their gestures wrapped in affection. But I saw the root, and it was not pure. Yes, you felt it. The unease, the spiritual tension, the unrest that followed certain conversations, the way your spirit felt drained after being around them. That wasn't confusion. It was discernment, I whispered, to you. I stirred your spirit. I allowed your peace to be disturbed because I needed you to look again, not with suspicion, but with my ears. Because what's been working against you hasn't come with horns. It came wearing a smile. You gave too much access to those who only meant to observe, not to support. You shared your dreams with ears that didn't honor them, but I kept you. Even when they tried to sabotage what you were building, it preserved the foundation. Even when they whispered your name in circles you weren't invited into, I made sure their words fell flat. What they meant forever, I twisted into protection. And now it's time. I am revealing the source of the delay, the hidden obstacle, the secret interference. I'm not doing it to embarrass anyone, but to free you. Because the weight you feel isn't always from the burden I gave you. Sometimes it's from the hands I never told you to carry. You've tolerated too much out of loyalty. You've kept too quiet out of love. But I'm giving you eyes to see and strength to walk away. Don't be afraid of the truth. Don't grieve what I removed. What you thought you needed, I already replaced. What you were trying to fix, I've already healed. When the truth surfaces, you'll be tempted to feel regret. But remember, I delayed this unveiling until now to protect your heart. If I had shown you too soon, you would have tried to save what was never sent. But now you are strong enough to walk into truth without losing your peace. You are not crazy. You are not bitter. You are not unforgiving. You are finally seeing clearly. This is the moment your discernment is confirmed. This is the moment your suspicions align with divine revelation. I am not showing you these things to harden your heart, but to anchor your future. What's coming next requires clarity. The places I'm taking, you require purity. You cannot carry false peace into your promised land. The next time they smile, you'll know what's behind it. The next time they speak, you'll hear what I hear. Not because I want you to hate them, but so you will no longer hand your peace to people who never had yours in mind. I'm not asking you to expose them, I will. You only need to obey when I say let go, because some battles are not yours to fight. Some betrayals are not yours to confront. They will unravel themselves, and you will stand in quiet victory. I'm not revealing their actions to wound you, but to release you. You've carried the pain of confusion, wondering why some relationships felt so heavy. You blamed yourself. You questioned your love. But I'm here to tell you, it wasn't your lack of love. It was their lack of truth. And now I'm releasing you from every lie that tried to wear your name, from every voice that twisted your kindness into weakness. from every secret assignment that was working to keep you stagnant while pretending to support you. I'm closing some doors, not because you failed, but because they were never supposed to follow you through them. I'm shifting your environment. I'm clearing your path. Not everyone who starts with you can be trusted to finish with you. Some only came to observe. Some only came to gather information. But I'm taking you deeper. And where I'm taking you, exposure comes before elevation. I'm preparing your heart to see what you once refused to believe. I'm healing you while I reveal. I'm giving you new peace while I remove the old confusion. This is not a season of confrontation. It is a season of revelation. Let me show you. Let me whisper it to your spirit. You won't need evidence when your soul knows what's true. And when the time is right, you'll see it with your eyes. Do not chase explanations. Do not beg for closure. My revealing is your confirmation. When I uncover, I also restore. When I separate, I also strengthen. What you lose in this moment will not compare to what I'm making room for. Trust me. Because when I expose what's been working against you, I will also surround you with those working for you. The real ones, the silent intercessors, the ones I've hidden for such a time as this. You will not be alone. You will not be broken. You will rise, not in pride, but in clarity. And when you rise, they will know it was me. I never let what was done in darkness remain hidden forever, especially when it concerns you. My eyes have been on every detail. Nothing escapes me. Not the false words wrapped in flattery, not the handshakes made in secrecy, not the conversations where your name was passed around like currency. You weren't there to hear it, but I was. You didn't see the motive, but I did. And while they smiled in your presence, their heart was calculating something far different. But you didn't know. You were too busy loving, too busy trusting, too busy carrying the weight of things I never asked you to bear. There is something you need to understand now, something I've been whispering into your spirit for a while. Not all attacks come through enemies. Some come through alliances. Some come through people who once held your hand during prayer, people who spoke blessings over you while envying your calling, people who sat under your light but never intended to support its shine. And because your heart is pure, you kept embracing what I was asking you to question. You kept holding on when I was gently pulling your hands away. But here is the truth. What was hidden is surfacing. Not because of drama, not because of conflict, but because of alignment. What I'm building in your life cannot afford cracks. And people who carry unspoken agendas are cracks in the foundation. Their loyalty was to your past, not your future. Their love was conditional based on how small you stayed, and I can no longer let that kind of energy follow you where I'm taking you. Their access is being revoked, not by your choice, but by my hand. You'll begin to see it soon. The conversations will shift, the tone will change, the invitations will stop. Their silence will grow louder. You'll wonder what happened. But this is not rejection, it's redirection. I'm allowing you to see what's been under the surface all along. This is not new behavior, it's newly revealed, because now your eyes are opening. Now your spirit is discerning, and now your future is calling for a clearing. The warfare you felt wasn't coming from random places. It was coordinated. It came from those who had enough access to strike familiar wounds. You felt drained not just from life, but from emotional exchanges that cost too much. That wasn't your imagination. That was spiritual reality. When you give freely to those who only take, the imbalance becomes spiritual warfare. But no more. I'm leveling the ground. I'm setting divine boundaries. I'm giving you strength to release, to walk away, and not feel guilty for protecting your peace. Do not be surprised when some faces fade. Do not mourn the connections that feel distant. I'm removing the unnecessary. I'm filtering your circle. I'm silencing the voices that once sounded sweet but carried manipulation underneath. They were never for you. They were never meant to grow with you. I shielded you long enough, but now I'm shifting you. And with that shift comes a revelation, not to shame them, but to free you. You've been asking me, why do I feel so stuck? You've been wrestling with emotions you can't explain, but what you're feeling is the tension between your growth and their control. They don't celebrate your progress because they benefit from your stagnation. They don't clap for your calling because it reminds them of their own disobedience. That's why the atmosphere around them feels heavy. That's why your dreams shrink in their presence. But I didn't call you to shrink. I called you to rise. And rise you will, but not with the weight of false attachments. I'm removing the masks. I'm ending the performances. You don't need to beg for loyalty. You don't need to fight for respect. You don't need to prove your worth to those who secretly doubt your anointing. You are not here to convince. You are here to walk forward in truth. And truth, my child, is your deliverance. You've been carrying people who were assigned for a season, not a lifetime. And in my mercy, I allowed the journey with them to last long enough for you to learn, but not too long to cost your promise. I never meant for you to be drained, trying to keep peace with those who were never at peace with themselves. I never asked you to dim your light to protect their insecurities. That was your compassion. But now it's time for wisdom. And wisdom says, release what no longer honors your calling. This is a divine uncoupling, not to isolate you, but to insulate you. You will be surrounded again, but by those I send, not those who slipped in. You will be covered again, but by those who carry your name in prayer, not in gossip. You know it hurts. I know it feels like losing family. But what I'm giving you in return is the kind of alignment that breaks cycles and births destiny. This is more than protection, it's preparation. Do not look back with regret. Do not replay the memories trying to rewrite the truth. What I've shown you is real. What I've whispered to you is accurate. Trust me, because what's coming next requires you to walk lighter, see clearer, and love deeper, but from a place of wisdom. Not wounds. You can still love without entertaining. You can still forgive without granting access. I'm teaching you the difference. I'm not asking you to expose them. That's my job. I'm not asking you to fight them. I've already defeated every scheme sent against you. What I'm asking you to do now is rest. Rest in knowing I'm handling it. Rest in knowing nothing spoken against you will prosper. Rest in knowing that every secret meeting, every backdoor conversation, every subtle betrayal is already under my authority. And when I move, no one can stop it. You're entering a season of divine clarity. The fog is lifting, the weight is breaking. The truth is rising. You won't have to chase answers, they will appear. You won't have to force revelation, it will come in peace. Every people who worked against you in secret will be revealed by their own actions. I will allow their fruit to speak for them. I will let silence reveal what their words tried to hide. And you, my child, will walk in freedom. Not because of what you exposed, but because of what I uncovered. You are safe in my hands. And when I expose, it's never to destroy, but to deliver. I'm not removing people to leave you empty. I'm making room for what's real. Watch what I do next. Keep your heart clean. Keep your hands off the battle. I'm not done speaking, and I'm not done showing you what's been hiding behind the veil. I have been quiet, but I have not been absent. I have waited, watched, and measured the weight of every word spoken against you. I saw when they smiled in your presence, but sighed in frustration behind your back. I witnessed the handshakes, the embraces, the moments where trust was given freely, but honor was withheld. You didn't see their eyes shift when your name was spoken, but I did. You didn't hear the way they questioned your calling in hushed tones, but I heard every syllable. And still I held back my hand, not because I approved, but because I was protecting the timeline of your awakening. You were never blind. You were simply hopeful. You believed the best in people. You extended grace without calculation. You loved without fear. That is not weakness, my child. It's reflection of my heart. But even grace has a limit when it starts to cost your destiny. And now I am drawing a line because the time has come for you to step into the clarity I've been preparing. The fog of confusion, the emotional weight, the second guessing that was all evidence of misalignment. And where there is misalignment, my glory cannot settle. You wondered why I allowed the delay, why the breakthrough you prayed for seemed just out of reach. But how could I open a door when hands around you were preparing to sabotage it the moment it opened? How could I pour new wine into old wineskins? Relationships that couldn't carry the weight of where I'm taking you. You thought the delay was punishment. It wasn't. It was mercy. I was holding the blessing until I could remove the burden. I was waiting for your circle to be purified before your purpose could be magnified. You don't need to worry about the how. You don't need to search for confirmation. I will make it plain. Not through arguments, not through drama, but through undeniable patterns. Their actions will speak louder than their intentions. Their absence will reveal more than their presence ever did. I am letting it unfold naturally so that when it's time to walk away, you will do so without guilt, without fear, without the need to explain yourself. Because what you're about to witness is not emotional, it is spiritual. You have carried people I never assigned. You have entertained voices I never endorsed. You have stayed loyal to spaces that became too small for what I placed inside of you. But I'm not angry with you. I know your heart. I created it. I know how deeply you love, how long you wait, how hard you try to fix what's broken. But this is not your battle to fix. This is your season to release. Because anything you try to fix that I'm trying to remove will only drain you more. Some of the people in your life were not sent to love you. They were sent to study you, and while you were focused on purpose, they were focused on position. They admired your light, but not your surrender. They wanted your oil, but not your altar. That is why you always felt the tension. That is why their presence felt like pressure instead of peace. But I allowed it for a time so that when I finally exposed it, you would not just see the truth, you would feel it. And you do feel it now, don't you? That strange peace when they walk away, that clarity after silence, that relief in your spirit even when your heart still grieves the connection. That's me. That's what it feels like when I remove a counterfeit from your life. That's what freedom sounds like when the noise of false loyalty fades. Don't run back to what I'm removing. Don't make excuses for what I'm revealing. This moment is sacred. This separation is surgical. I'm cutting away what can't carry the weight of your calling. And I know what you're thinking. What if I'm wrong? But you're not. You've asked me for confirmation. I've sent it through dreams, through restlessness, through repetition. You've walked into rooms and felt your spirit tighten. You've heard familiar voices and felt a strange distance in your soul. That's not paranoia. That's discernment. That's me preparing you for the shift. There's a reason you felt isolated lately. It's not punishment. It's preparation. I've been drawing you away from the noise so you could hear me clearly. I've been separating you from the crowd so I could strengthen your discernment. This is not rejection. It's refinement. I'm sharpening your vision. I'm stretching your sensitivity. I'm teaching you how to trust my voice above every voice around you. Some people only walked with you because they assumed you'd never leave the place you started. They supported you when your faith was small and your vision was manageable. But now that I've enlarged your territory, they are uncomfortable with what I'm building in you. Not because you changed, but because you grew, and your growth disrupted their comfort. Your obedience challenged their complacency. Your calling exposed their compromise. You don't need to apologize for evolving. You don't need to shrink to keep peace. You don't need to explain why you no longer feel aligned. Growth often creates distance. Maturity demands movement. And where I'm taking you, you'll need space to soar. You can't take dead weight into your next elevation. You can love them, bless them, pray for them, but you can't carry them. I'm stripping away the familiar so I can clothe you in the new. I'm closing old chapters so I can write fresh pages. And yes, it may feel lonely, but don't confuse isolation with abandonment. I've not left you. I'm just removing the noise so you can finally hear me clearly. You were never created to blend in. That's why you've always felt out of place. That's why certain atmospheres suffocated you, because your soul was never meant to live in places that dishonor your spirit. I'm giving you permission to be free. Free from toxic loyalty. Free from one-sided relationships. Free from pretending everything is okay when your spirit says otherwise. This is your release. This is your shift. This is the unveiling. What's been working against you in secret will no longer be hidden. The light is exposing the shadows. The wheat is being separated from the tears, not by your doing, but by mine. Don't harden your heart. Don't let pain become your identity. Let the truth cleanse you. Let my voice comfort you. Let me be your confirmation. I know this season is uncomfortable, but trust me, what you're shedding is nothing compared to what I'm preparing to reveal. The people, the places, the patterns, I'm sifting them all. Because where I'm taking you next, you'll walk without question, you'll speak without doubt, you'll discern without fear, and you'll stand not in suspicion, but in clarity. Keep your heart steady, my child. The final reveal is closer than you think. The silence has been loud, hasn't it? The distance you've been feeling from certain people wasn't your imagination. It was me. I've been pulling you back, not to punish you, but to preserve you. You've been walking through a season of divine separation, and now you're standing at the threshold of a great unveiling. I told you before that I would reveal what's been hidden. That moment is now. What they did in secret will not remain concealed. The whispers they thought I didn't hear, I recorded. The steps they took against you while wearing a mask of love, I traced. Every one of them. I have seen it all, and I am no longer silent. The time has come for exposure, not for vengeance, but for justice. What has entangled your spirit and kept your atmosphere heavy is about to be cleared. You will not have to confront them. You won't have to explain yourself. The very people who spoke against you will unravel by their own actions. They will reveal themselves. Their patterns will speak louder than their promises. Their absence will expose their loyalty, and you will finally breathe again. Don't rush to react. Let me handle it. You were never meant to fight in the mud while I sit on the throne. This battle is mine, not yours. Your responsibility is peace, obedience, and trust. I didn't give you discernment to make you bitter. I gave it to make you wise. And you are wiser now. You feel it, the sensitivity in your spirit, the shaking in your atmosphere. It's not anxiety, it's spiritual confirmation. You've known for some time that something wasn't right. I was the one stirring that knowing inside of you. I've been speaking even when you thought I was silent. There is no need for suspicion anymore. What's coming to light will bring clarity so deep that you won't need validation from anyone else. It will make sense why certain things didn't work out, why specific people became cold, why your circle grew smaller, even though your heart remained open. I was preserving you while protecting your future. If I had allowed them to stay connected to you any longer, they would have corrupted what I'm about to pour into your hands. You're entering a time of divine alignment. The wrong people are falling away, so the right ones can take their place. The energy you once spent trying to understand their silence will now be redirected into building the vision I gave you. You will no longer waste tears on those who misused your loyalty. You'll no longer wonder if your love was too much. Your love was pure. Their intent was not. And now I'm calling it out. I'm uncovering conversations you weren't meant to hear, but needed to know. I'm revealing motives that were hidden under good behavior, and I'm doing it all without drama, without noise, just undeniable truth. You won't even need to speak. They will reveal themselves by how they retreat when you grow, by how they distance themselves when you shine, by how they no longer celebrate what I'm doing in your life. Watch. You'll see. And when you do, don't shrink. Don't run. Don't apologize for the light I placed in you. You were not called to carry darkness just to make others feel comfortable. You were not created to live in a space that forces you to suppress your identity. I gave you vision. I gave you fire. I gave you purpose. And now I'm giving you freedom. You will move forward lighter. You will walk clearer. And the heaviness that used to sit on your shoulders because of their hidden intentions will fall off like broken chains. They thought I was silent because I was unaware. But I am a God who sees. I saw the betrayal before it happened. I saw the jealousy masked as love. I saw the prayers that weren't pure, and still I waited not because I was passive, but because I was positioning everything to benefit you. What the enemy meant for evil, I'm using for good. Their plan to delay you only set the stage for your next elevation. I'm going to bless you so publicly that those who tried to stop you in private will have no choice but to watch what I do. But you don't let bitterness enter your heart. Keep it clean. Keep it surrendered. Keep it open to me. Because even as I remove people from your life, I am surrounding you with those who carry your name in intercession, not in gossip, with those who walk with you in truth, not in performance. This is your moment of divine discernment. You are no longer walking blind. Your spirit is awake, your ears are tuned to my frequency, and from this day forward you will know the difference between who is sent and who simply showed up. You will know who carries oil and who carries offense, and you will be led by peace, not by pressure. Now is the time to stand still and let me fight for you. You are about to see vindication without your voice, justice without your anger, and breakthrough without your effort. I am the Lord your God. I am not late. I am precise. And I am fully aware of who has been standing beside you with a dagger in there. But you don't need to protect yourself. I've already done it. You don't need to expose them. I already have. And now I will honor your obedience. I will reward your patience. I will pour new oil over the very places they tried to dry out. You are going to see restoration like never before. Where they tried to limit you, I will expand you. Where they tried to silence you, I will give you voice. Where they tried to distract you, I will give you focus. Nothing they did behind closed doors will stop what I'm doing in the open. My child, the secret opposition has been defeated. The hidden enemy is exposed, and you are free. If this word touched your spirit, I invite you to subscribe to Jesus' Blessed Message channel for more divine messages straight from the heart of God. This is your sacred space, your spiritual sanctuary. Stay connected, stay uplifted, and never miss what heaven is speaking next. Comment Amen below if you receive this message. Let the enemy see your agreement with heaven. Let the world know your spirit is awake.